You know Steve's Up B? It's a really cool item in Minecraft called the Elytra, which gives players extremely versatile mobility so long as they have a few fireworks with them. But you know that name of theirs? I pronounced it earlier as Elytra. Well, the item is actually based off of a real-world thing, that is the hardened forewing of some certain bugs, primarily beetles. And a single one of these wings is called an elytron. And the proper plural of this is elytra. Not elytra, but elytra. This gives good reason to believe that the in-game item is also pronounced elytra, not elytra like seemingly everyone defaults the pronunciation to. Anyhow, enough about that. I've got a few things I want to add from my last video. First is that Go-Go isn't actually all that weird. Rather, when you mine on him, you just get miscellaneous blocks as your loot, and the stage can only have one miscellaneous block. On Great Cave Offensive, that's dirt. On Summit, that's ice, etc, etc. This also explains why his stage builder only has dirt and not sand or anything else, because it'd be really wonky if you had multiple materials around to give you multiple miscellaneous blocks. So yes, when you mine on the land of Tortimer Island, you still get sand. The other thing is about the Minecraft death animation. I got kinda bombarded with this one, a lot of which was stated in sort of a haughty manner. They mostly referred to Sakurai's presentation when he fought the zombies, so let's look at that. I mean, kinda, yeah. And you can see it anywhere else, so long as you use a move that doesn't have knockback, like Fox's laser. I do think this would have been worth mentioning had I known about it, so forgive me for that much. But at the same time, I don't think that's the same. I mean, if Steve's KO animation was meant to be a direct callback to his Minecraft death animation, it would also work with knockback. You still flop to the side in Minecraft when you die, even if you get launched by TNT. So the fact that it wasn't true in my test made me think there was no one-to-one relation. Honestly, I mostly relate him flopping to the ground here as just a necessity. I mean, how else will he act when he gets KO'd with zero knockback? Basically, everyone else would do the same type of animation when they get KO'd like this. And I think it's fair to say that this is the Minecraft death animation, I guess? But at the same time, I don't think it's really intentionally so, or something like that. But enough about the past. Let's start talking about the past again, relating to my milestone I have recently achieved. 100,000 subscribers ain't anything to sneeze at, but while it's insane on its own, we've still got way more ground to cover. Be sure to subscribe if you like my channel, or if you don't. Apparently the next milestone is at 150,000 subscribers where I have to do a fridge reveal? I guess that's something to look forward to. Alright, so moving on, Tempest Yoshi gives me a nice little fact about the fence size of Steve's grab. That is, the dimensions of the fence seem to change depending on who Steve grabs. When he grabs Zombie here, it becomes a 2x2. However, when he grabs someone like Bowser, it becomes a 3x3, which seemed to be the biggest base size. So I was wondering how this then functioned with size change. Can the dimensions get any bigger? When I gave Ridley a super mushroom though, the only thing that changed was the size of the fence, not the dimensions, just the size. And this type of change depends on the size of the opponent you're grabbing. So when you're small and then you do the grab, the fence will still be large, not small. But if the opponent is small and you grab them, there doesn't seem to be any fence at all? If both of you are small, the fence appears just fine. But it seems that in any scenario when Steve is larger than the opponent, they opted to just completely remove the fence or something. Speaking of size change though, William Downs gives me a fact regarding block placing when your size has been changed. That is, no matter what your size is, the size of the blocks you can place will always be the same. This makes them a bit irrelevant in Mega Smash, which is actually pretty good since gigantic blocks that cover half the stage would be a bit hard to play with. But this actually makes blocks pretty dang effective in Mini Smash, if not a little bit difficult to use. Now the reason why this is the way it is relates to this question I got from Average Brendan, asking how the blocks work on curved stages like Mario Galaxy. When you place blocks on the Mario Galaxy stage, they'll actually just act like normal. However, you'll never really be able to place a block directly on the ground. It'll either float slightly above it, or be straight up inside the ground. So the answer to the title question is kinda no. You can place blocks above the stage or inside of the stage, but not on the stage. If you run out of blocks, you might see this crossed out symbol, which also appears when you try to build out of bounds. These symbols create a grid of sorts, and I imagine each stage is given a flat, static grid in which you can place blocks. So the blocks are affected by the stage's gravity, unfortunately, which was one of my thoughts when he was first revealed. But if you speed bridge like this, you might notice that Steve himself will start leaning to the left. despite the fact that the surface he's on is not changing. So the gravity will affect which way you're leaning, even if you're on a new flat surface, which is pretty freaky. Oh yeah, speaking of freaky, you might have noticed that this video was released on Halloween. So what's a Halloween video without something spooky? So here's a scary thought. What if you wanted to watch something, but your country doesn't allow you to watch it? Well, look no further than ExpressVPN. You've probably heard of VPNs before, but today I'd like to specifically talk to you about content unblocking. Recently, I've been thinking about watching some Rick and Morty on Netflix, since I get all my TV pleasures from my computer. But as you can see, the show is simply not available. However, if I go into ExpressVPN and change my location from the US to the UK, like so, and then I refresh the page, Rick and Morty is now an available show, and I can actually watch it. To give another example, those of you in the UK are unable to watch Hunter x Hunter on Netflix, which is quite frankly a crying shame. And I've kept my connection to the UK to verify this too. If you were to then make yourself go to the US, you'll be able to watch this show now. By the way, you should definitely watch this show. There's loads of other examples of how this could help you out, and honestly this type of feature is just so cool. And I've got some really good and reliable friends who've also used this product. So if you want to gain access to thousands of new shows or movies, click on the link in the description to find out how to get 3 months for free. That's expressvpn.com/pkbeats. Thanks again ExpressVPN for sponsoring today's video. Moving on, Kenan Ninor asks if Steve can grab items with his fishing rod. Unfortunately, while Isabel's fishing rod is more than capable of picking up items, Steve's is not. However, the nice thing to mention is that when you use the fishing rod on a body of water, the bobber will make that little sploosh sound like when you get a bite in Minecraft. Obviously you can't actually catch any fish here in Smash though. Speaking of the fishing rod, Rafael Francisco Melilin asks if Steve's fishing rod can activate the pressure plate for TNT. In Minecraft, the bobber of the fishing rod has gravity, and therefore can trigger pressure plates, which I guess is a pretty unique way to activate a TNT trap. I only knew about this beforehand since it's good for some AFK fishing farms. But in Smash, unfortunately, your grab will not activate the pressure plate. Nor will Isabel's fishing rod. Though I did get curious about two specific items. The bomb chew does seem to activate the pressure plate, though not necessarily by pressing it down, but rather by outright exploding it. And I guess that works enough. And the hothead seems to ignore the pressure plate overall. However, one thing I did notice was that the hothead acted pretty weird with the TNT, going around it like a normal surface, but then dipping down a bit before going back to normal. I guess you can deploy this as a stalling tech then, or something? I don't know. Also, quick tech, but if you stand on your TNT, use down smash, and buffer shield, you'll activate the TNT and air dodge through its hitbox, making it a kind of safe method of activation. But it doesn't seem to work if you charge the down smash, and honestly it can just be really inconsistent for me overall, so I guess use at your own discretion. Speaking of down smash though, Solid Alias as well as many others have informed me of something regarding Steve's down smash. That is, you can actually reflect Steve's down smash since apparently it's a projectile. I guess it makes sense though since you're kind of throwing the lava down or something like that. On top of this, the flint and steel is also reflectable, as is the anvil, which is interesting. Though what's especially interesting is that the anvil from his down throw can also be reflected, so that's definitely something to look out for. As you can imagine then, the moves that can be reflected can also be pocketed, and it works about as you would think. Though what I would like to especially point out is that you can pocket the down throw anvil too, making it not work for the down throw. And when you use this anvil, it does the damage of a normal anvil, which is actually way stronger than the down throw itself, so that's really cool. Also yes, PSI Magnet seems to work for the lava bucket and the flint and steel, though oddly enough they seem to heal close to nothing. Probably some hitbox shenanigans at work or something like that. Anyhow, while I'm going through the questions and thinking about stuff, I thought about something silly. That being, what if you could sleep through the night of the Minecraft stage? In Minecraft, if everyone on the server is sleeping, the night will be skipped. The setup to make both Steve and Zombie sleep is to use Blossom and Togepi, hoping for the RNG of the sleep-inducing move. I know that I could probably just use Jigglypuff here, but I wanted to have two Minecraft beds present just for accuracy. And as I unfortunately thought, you don't skip the night cycle in the background if everyone is asleep. I definitely think this would have been an insanely cool Easter egg, but whatever. Also super quickly, I've been playing the MC Eternal mod pack lately, and one of its features is adjusted darkness of the night depending on the phase of the moon, which makes for super dark nights when it's a new moon. It is pretty terrifying. This made me think about how the Minecraft stage handled moon phases, but unfortunately when I looked in the camera you actually can't see the sun nor the moon at all due to how limited your upwards movement is. So that's kind of a bummer, but I guess that answers that. Speaking of answering things, CJ Cougar 8 asks what happens when you use Steve's up smash without a pickaxe. You probably noticed that with Steve's up smash he breaks the magma block with his pickaxe. However, if you lose your pickaxe and then use up smash, you use your fists to break the block. Nothing special. But there is something special to talk about. That is, there's actually a hitbox when Steve breaks the blocks. It's not very powerful, but the pickaxe swing here does damage you. But when you use just your fist to break the block, I didn't seem to take damage from that. I either got hit by the magma block or nothing at all. Even when I positioned myself inside of Steve, both of these hits were from the magma block. There's more to test here though. First, I was wondering if the action of breaking the magma block wore down on your pickaxe's durability. But after using it a ton of times for a good long while, nothing happened. And after using a few more forward airs afterwards, it didn't look like the durability was affected. So that's nice, I guess. And next, I wanted to know if the power of this hitbox increased depending on which material you used. As we saw before with the wooden pickaxe, the hitbox dealt 8.9%. But with the stone pickaxe, it dealt 9.8. With iron dealing 10.8, gold dealing 9, and diamond dealing 12.2. Now gold is obviously supposed to be weaker, but its upside is that it's faster, right? But when I compared the golden pickaxe to the wooden one, they both seem to break the magma block at the same speed. So in this case, there's virtually no difference between the two tools. Also, I was curious about charging the smash attack, and if you charge it all the way, the pickaxe hitbox actually is stronger, with the wooden pickaxe dealing 12.4% and the diamond pickaxe dealing 16.7%. Not huge on kill power, but very nice damage. Still talking about tools, E2 Gaming gives me a fact about your upgrade types with diamonds. That is, if one of your diamond tools breaks and you use another material to replace said tool, only that tool will use that material. That is to say, your entire kit doesn't get replaced with a new material like usual. This isn't just for diamond too. If the rest of your tools are a higher grade than whatever it is you're using to replace the one you broke, then they stay the same, which is very nice. However, this mechanic means that, with a little bit of work and organization, you can hypothetically have Steve using a different material for every single tool. You see here I have gold on the shovel, iron on the sword, stone on the axe, and wood on the pickaxe. Next, Maria White asks if Steve's sword attacks make a metal clank sound. When two iron swords collide, as you can imagine, their sound is very metallic. However, when other tools collide, like an axe or a pickaxe, there is no such sound, meaning this only affects Steve's sword and doesn't necessarily matter based on the material. That is to say, yes, this metallic clanking still happens even when you're using wooden tools. Also, while it's obvious in hindsight, by doing this I found out that clashing actually decreases the tool's durability, which can cause it to break. So look out for that, I guess. Finally, for this video, did you know that, among many other things, Abra cannot be spawned on this new Minecraft stage? However, if you go to the Enderman Spirit fight, it'll start off with the Enderman throwing a Pokeball with Abra in it. Now granted, this is the only time Abra appears in this match, as after that only POW blocks seem to spawn, from my understanding, but still there seemed to be some sort of compatibility with Abra here on this stage. Making use of this handy dandy chart to select the same biome that the Enderman fight was in, we can see that Abra is still unavailable here. So that's weird, but I'm sure they had their reasons. Anyhow, I think that'll do it for today. I'd like to thank my patrons Felipe Morla, Skully, Avenkaru, Burbo, Cody Benda, Raighne, Feurolant, Aman Shareef, PinkieOats, and Xammary. And another shout out to ExpressVPN for sponsoring today's video. Winter is coming, and boy do I not like the cold, but boy do I love the holiday season. Usually at least. As we probably expected, this holiday season is a bit on the quiet side, at least in terms of Nintendo. I guess that Age of Calamity game is going to be their holiday title, unless I'm missing something. So it goes, I'm still kind of excited for more Zelda content, even if it's not the type of content or gameplay I'm looking for in a Zelda game. Anything can satiate me now. In the meantime, I've been getting addicted to the MC Eternal Minecraft mod pack, and staying addicted to TF2. Though I do play a little bit of Smash from time to time now, as well as watch more competitive styled videos to learn more about Steve, so that's fun. But enough about all that. Stay warm, stay casual, and I'll see y'all later.